Good afternoon, everyone. I decided to start a little bit early than usual, so it gives people time to find the video, the streaming. So we would see people starting arriving. Sometimes if you don't refresh timeline, you can't see the live streaming. Hello, Steph, Jill, Carlos, thank you. Thanks, Carlos, for the previous lecture. Rodrigo, welcome. Thank you. Sometimes I don't see everyone. If you want to drop a message, you're welcome. Eliana, great Eliana is watching us. Jill, sorry I didn't mention Jill as well, I think. Thank you. Good afternoon, Eliana, thank you. Nice to see you too, Jill, thank you. The great thing about the Facebook live stream is that it can be recorded and people can watch later. And it will be available in our Facebook page so people can reach out. So you have some minutes so people can be finding the link if they want to watch live. Welcome, Carol, for our talk today. Gonna still wait another 2 minutes to start. Well, I think we're gonna start. It's 6:15 in the Saturday, so afternoon, evening, I guess. As I can see from the window here. So let's start with our to elevate our thoughts. Please feel free to keep your eyes open, or keep your eye out, close your eyes. So let's elevate our thoughts to our mentor, guided mentors, our guardian angels that can connect with us today on the talk, on the lecture with Spiritism that we're having on this Saturday. Let's connect to our mentors of Paul Stevens Spirit Center. Thank you very much for the opportunity to be here, to learn through the lecture, and that we can all be embraced. Everyone that's watching, everyone that is in their homes, that please help us to feel that we can make you embraced. The thoughts can reach out to you, but also can reach to those that are in need. And let's elevate our thoughts to a mentor of Australia, all the countries, and our Master Jesus, that can please illuminate us and this time with our love. Amen. Thank you for those that are coming now, joining us on this Saturday. So the talk today is about the topic, who are my enemies? Who are our enemies? And it's a very interesting topic and can be viewed in different ways. And hopefully we can analyze these situations in terms of ourselves, to get down really to the answer for this question. Because it can have different views that we haven't even thought about, right? Because it could have different interpretations. So remember that everything with Spiritism, it's about approaching the ideas in 3 different ways: from the angle of from the religious angle, the philosophical angle, as well as the scientific angle. Scientific in a way of analyzing the spirit's communications that Allan Kardec codified the Spiritism back in the 1850s with his methodology, and it continues on. And the books that we use that were codified by Kardec, and this topic is taken from the Gospel according to Spiritism, chapter 12. but also the Spirits book, also written by Allan Kardec. All the information in these books, Allan Kardec collected through mediums. These communications were elevated spirits that came through mediums, and Kardec wrote the books and published the books. So he was the vehicle to disseminate that information. But let's start. When you start thinking about enemies, we see, but think about ourselves and everyone else, we start observing the behavior, and we see a lot of intolerance nowadays and increasing a lot in our society, and we start picking just small things, and we see unfortunate behaviors out there. Some people, when they drive their car in a way that everyone else on the other cars, they look like they are their enemies, and on a way of screaming, shouting, even fist fighting out in the streets during the traffic. Well, let's consider this, that the other people that driving the other cars are not our enemies, correct? Sometimes we behave that way, but they are not our enemies. They're just people trying to get to their destination as fast as possible, right? But also we can start looking at people that disagree with us. Do you think sometimes we behave that they are our enemies? They are not our enemies, right? But we see inflated discussions just because people think differently in terms of politics. The right, the left, and that one hates the other, one tries to demoralize the others, one tries to take down the other. Let's find peace in our hearts, because having a different opinion, it keeps us honest, it keeps the other party honest, and is healthy when you have two sides. So we have to respect. Again, people have different faith than us. Are they our enemies? No, they are not our enemies. But sometimes people behave like they are enemies, because just because people differently, whether they knocking doors, they praying, singing loud, and well, we need to respect other religions, and we all have something in common. Instead of looking and focusing on the differences, we need to focus on the things that are the same. In our religions that focusing on the good, they have one thing in common: the enlightenment of the human being to be a better person. And so within spiritism, in that topic, people that like one methodology, the other methodology, and suddenly you see discussions and behaviors that we shouldn't see. So we are friends, we are spiritists. So let's find some peace in our hearts. Let's stop this paranoia that everyone else is against us. Okay, when you start looking at our relationship in society for those people that are around us, well, there are some people that did very bad things to us, demoralize us, hurt us, steal things for us. And the story goes on. There's so many examples, right? And these are valid points, because it's so hard to see them in the other way when things are so live, and we haven't had time yet to digest this. But what if the time now has passed, if this has happened like 5, 10, 15 years ago, which we have lots of examples, then I guess it's time to get rid of these feelings that we carry with us in terms of bitterness, anger, and vengeance. These are the real enemies to us. The feelings, these feelings that we carry with us, they are the enemies against us, not the enemies, not the people. They affect our mood, our health, because we learn that the power of the mind, thoughts, they discharge packets of energy in our body, and in this case very bad ones, and we've been carrying and doing this for maybe for 5, 10, 15 or more years, as we discussed. And mediums, just a little bit of spiritism, mediums, they report that they can see the aura of other people, and when they actually thinking in a vibration state that is of revenge, hatred, they see these forms of tiny living forms. They have direction towards the other people, and they are not nice things. But what happens as well, they come back to us, these energies. They actually leave traces on us. And these are bad for us. So, and we can feel, we all have our vibrational state. When we kind of get close to people, we can see those, we can sometimes feel chills and things that we don't like. So we start having people that are distant from us. So these are not good things for us. We need to rethink, we need to change our focus. So if we can't forgive, we're not going to forget about the things they've done to us. The step we want to achieve is forgive. But if we can't forgive yet, let's change the focus. Let's focus on things that are good, that can elevate thoughts to us and actions. And so in that way, at least the enemies, we will stop controlling our happiness. Because in the end, if we are not happy because of them, in our own mind, because we hate them, but we have to take control of our own happiness, because we shouldn't be relying on other people to be happy, whatever they do to us. That's the ultimate state. So let's take control of our own happiness. But then I wanted to ask a more strange question. What if this enemy has done something to you, or you did something to another person? It has happened 300 years ago. Well, this may sound a little bit strange, but that's right. And then it starts us to deep dive into Spiritism and what we teach, what the Spirits brought to us, to segment the ideas so we can even have better understanding of defining who are our enemies. First, it requires from us to understand the soul survives the body. And this is common for every religion that believes the soul, believes the identity, the soul will transcend and we continue in the afterlife, the survival of the soul. So the soul commands your body, commands its spirit. You are a spirit, a living spirit, and survives the death of the body. And this spirit who thinks, who actually the one that drives your brain. You have had different experience, and then comes Spiritism, had come before along these 300 years with different lives, different experiences. Perhaps you have learned amazing things, building amazing things. Maybe you being Egyptian in 3,000 years ago, or you were a guru of ancient cities, and you built marvelous things, and you loved some, but potentially have hated others as well. We call this reincarnation. And it has happened through different lives. We come back through different lives. However, it's like a movie. We can maybe explain and have a view of a movie. Every life is a movie. We come back in this movie, but with a different body. Our identity changes. But the characters within these movies, they are the same. It's like when watching movies, we say, is Angelina Jolie there again on that movie? In reincarnation, we come with a different identity, right? It's a different body, so people that can. Apologies, I think everyone is there still. I had some wireless connections here, issues. Can you please give a thumbs up if everyone is still there? Is everyone with me still? He actually reconnected. Oh, cool. Thank you. Apologies, my wireless network just dropped. So let's continue. So we explain about reincarnation like a movie, and these actors that come back with different scripts. Yeah, we talk about Angelina Jolie. Thanks, Steffi. Yeah, well, we come back to different actors in a movie, and sometimes we are the cop. One time we are the bad guy, and then we exchange our scripts, and we come back in different lives, and we experience different sides of the story. More importantly, as we were talking before, um, uh, and as we say, maybe we've done good things. We loved people in one life, but maybe we hated other people in some instances. And we can see the humanity in the 1500s, 1200s, 1300s, how many things we've done in the past lives that we're not very proud of it. So we were there living those times, so we can have an idea. So gladly we forgot about all that, and now we have time to build a new chapter, right? So a new life. That's the greatest thing about not remembering. But we bring these memories, right? So, so I wanted to bring a story from Chico Xavier, one of the greatest mediums of Brazil. And it's the story about the face, which actually gives an idea of how we even though we forget about our past lives, which I don't want to remember them, and the bad things I've done, because we're here to transform ourselves, right? But we keep deep in there those memories. It's a story. I think you've heard that story, but never told the story in English. Probably it's from the Chico's books, which I don't think has been translated officially. So there was two farms, two families. They lived in the borders of Brazil, there between São Paulo and the Minas Gerais states of Brazil. And one of the families had a son, which he was turned 18. And he was now he's already looking after the family business, the farm. So the two families, they were friends. There was no problems much between the families. One day, the son was riding his horse through the fence that made the division between the two farms, and then he looked at that fence, and he thought, this fence doesn't look all right. There was a stream of water that was on the other side, and he thought, I think this fence should be on the other side. That's not fair. And then he did the worst thing he could have done. He moved the fence. So there was a big fight between the families because of the land, the property, the water, the stream of water, and shots were fired and people died, and he died as well. And when he arrives in the spiritual world and he encounters his mentor or guardian angel, his guardian angel, and they have a long talk, and the guardian angel his mentor starts, what have you done? Why did you move the fence? And so on, and then he said, well, you need to fix this. Well, how am I gonna? And he asked, how am I gonna fix this? Well, now you're gonna have to go back to the other. You're gonna be born on the other family, and you're gonna have to fix this issue because you attract so many enemies, you create so much dispute that you need to go back. It's your responsibility. Okay, he goes back. He's born again, but on the other side, on the other family. When he turns 18, he's passing through the fence again, but on the other side, and he looks at the fence and says, that fence doesn't look all right. I think it should be on the other side of the stream. And then he moves the fence again. Again, shots are fired. People die. He dies. When he arrives before his guardian angel, his mentor, both the same, sometimes the words, whatever words we want to use, they say, well, you fixed the fence, but that wasn't a great outcome because there's more enemies, more issues, people hate each other. What should I do now? Well, I'll explain to you. You need to fix this. You're going to be born now on the other side of the fence, on the original family. But please, do not touch that fence again. Don't even get 100 meters close to that fence. You are prohibited to touch that fence. Everyone will be rejoined within those families. It's a reunion. It's the time for reunification, my friend. And consider, it has passed already 300 years. He had lost 300 years between coming back, and taking a long time for reincarnate. So he goes incarnates in the regional family. He was turning 26 already. He was mature, strong, and very decided what he wanted to do. And he was riding along the fence with his brother, which was turning 18. And you know how the spiritual world is. They come and whisper something in our ears, and the good or bad. And his brother now says, that fence, there's something not right about that fence. We should move the fence to the other side of the stream. And then that brings his experience inside of him. He had learned that what he does say to him, you're prohibited to even get close to this fence, even 100 meters. Do not touch this fence. So what did we learn about this story? Well, one thing is that it was 300 years for him to learn one small thing, and can be for us as well. But another more important thing is that we will be born from the two sides of the stories. One day we can be born black, one day we'll be born white. One day we're born one side of the country, the other day we're going to be born another side of the other country that they are in conflict. So harmony can actually happen, because through our experience we can kind of feel the two sides of the stories. And it's our responsibility. Also, the story is very clear what the mentor says. It's your responsibility to fix the fence, to reunite the people. So, and we bring those memories. We are bringing these tendencies, the behaviors, the racism, the ignorance, the indifference that we sometimes bring towards some people, the selfishness. We keep bringing, but it's our work to reform ourselves, right? And through our experience, it doesn't matter if it's a bit by bit, we'll be coming back and learning and changing those experiences. What we have to highlight as well is that those enemies may not be incarnated with us. We may be here in earth incarnated, but they could be in a spiritual life. And because the mind survives and is free from the body, even more in the spiritual world, those feelings they carry, they could be being still in a loop, being sent to us. We call these spirits possessions or spirit obsessions. And it's not a surprise to us. We've been hearing this for a long time. From Socrates' philosopher, they talk about the spirits that influence our ideas. And they come in a source of ideas, in a ways of energy. But we can observe, we can understand which thoughts are ours, and which thoughts are not ours. Logically, our tendencies, they allows this thought to be attracted to us. But through studying Spiritism, just studying the books we've been talking here, we can learn, we can start understanding that our world is connected. Everything is connected. Because then we ask, how do we protect against this? Consider we can't even consider we can't even remember those enemies. We can spend hours talking about this, but it ends up to be the best way to protect ourselves is to transform ourselves to a better person. Change our state of vibration, change the way we think towards our enemies, whatever they were. People don't like it, we don't like. Surrounded by always virtues in front of every other defect that we have. I know it's a state that we want to achieve, but this will help us create a defense shield and attract the good spirits that can help us to fix these obsessions. We're not here to suffer. We're not here to in earth to suffer. We're here to transform ourselves throughout these difficulties. And it's interesting because unfortunately we don't change profoundly, very profound, by having a pina colada in the beach. Usually it's through hardship, it's through difficulties that we pass through our lives and say, wow, how much now I have experienced and learned. And every successful person in his life is like this. We have a downfalls, right? We can take another case very quickly because our time is running out. But from Chico Xavier is that Chico was consulted. That you give an example of our acts, how they can help us through these spiritual obsessions. They come through thoughts and so on. And Spiritism, our spiritual center, is here to help as well. Come and chat with us if you need any help. So Chico was consulted by Chico Xavier. It's actually passed away already around 2000. I think it was the year 2000, if I'm not wrong. But he was the greatest spiritist in Brazil and the medium of that we ever had in Spiritism. In our opinion, being Brazilian, he was born there. Chico was consulted by a couple, father and mother, and they were very distressed with their daughter, which was having hallucinations. Chico said the best way to do is go and do good to others, he told them. So they went. After 1 year, they came back, and they said to their daughter that the daughter was improving. Chico asked, what did they do? Well, what did you do? Well, we went to the prison and start preaching the prisoners the consolation, the good word of Jesus, the good word of Spiritism, so they could renew themselves. And Chico says, great work, continue on. Everything is going to be sorted out. So Chico turns into his assistant. The guy actually wrote this book. It's about the great stories of Chico Xavier, and says what was really going on was a bunch of bad spirits that was actually, they wanted revenge against their daughter. But because they start helping the prisoners, the moms of those prisoners, they were not incarnated. They were already on the other side of the spiritual world. They saw those acts. We never lose our connections with our moms, our parents, our families. They are always there helping us. So the mothers of those prisoners, they look at those doing so much benevolent work, and they said, oh, that's not right. So they start helping them by approaching those bad spirits and convince them to stop doing what they were doing. So therefore, the daughter starts to improve. It was a very complicated case. So everything is God's love. Everything is an objective, and God is trying to, God has got all these miracle different ways to bring harmony through the universe, through our society, and we are part of this. We have a part into this. So we are co-workers to God's creations. Everything we move from one side to another, it's our responsibility to put it back. We saw the fence, the story of the fence. So, and we gotta think that even our enemies, right? God loves them the same way they loves us. And it's amazing through reincarnation, how is the possibility that if we can't solve right now in this life, and that's what Jesus tells us to do, we come back in another life, and it's going to be a chance to fix that, come in the same family. And that's the story, the Spiritism, and the books that you can read tell us over and over again. So we conclude that the worst enemies for us is not others or the spirits or people. It's the sentiments, the feelings that we carry with us that blocks our ability to evolve, to be successful at work, to be successful morally, and successful with all these different things. Us. So let's practice our inner reform, and trying to remove all those very heavy bags from our shoulders, the feelings that we've been carrying for so long. All does that mean? All what all this means is that we can write a new movie, a new book, right? We can rewrite right now this one, but also the next one, which is going to be a good one too. So hopefully you enjoyed the lecture, the talk. Um, thank you for being with you. I'm gonna just finalize with some final thoughts, and we're gonna conclude. Apologies for what happened with the internet here, but so glad that we came back in time to finish. So I'm gonna use this time so we can do our vibrations. We can ask our help from our mentors for Positive and Spirit Center. They can help us to connect to more elevated areas, to Jesus Christ, perhaps. If we can have that power, we can. And can help, we can ask Him to give us a little bit of His love. Just a little bit of His love is going to be able to illuminate our hearts, illuminate our homes. And this is going to come down through our bodies, through our minds, bringing peace and relief and cleaning us for all these bad thoughts and things that we carry with us. But let's send those vibrations to those that we, our families, our friends, I need. They need our help. And for those as well suffering COVID around the world, countries, hospitals, children, that we can be the instrument of God's actions to help whoever is in need. Thank you all for support us, and hopefully we can be back next Saturday remotely. Thank you.